Well, hello, believers. Join us right now for just 5 minutes of teaching on how to access the kingdom of God and all of the great benefits of kingdom citizenship. Here's Paul Gamaliel Williams.
Okay, Kingdom Citizens, thank you for clicking onto this link. We're talking about faith for kingdom life. Faith for kingdom life. Taking the words of the King and then walking by faith and not by sight in that. But we want to make sure that you're doing as the King said. And so we want to make sure that you hear this message where Jesus peeped the card of the people who were following him. In other words, he was telling them, you didn't come follow me because of the miracles, but because you were able to eat a little bit, get your food, your belly filled up. And you can't just come after the King for the stuff. You want to have the King and the blessor, not so much of the blessing. Nothing wrong with the blessing, because if you don't have stuff, you can't help anybody. You must have stuff to help people. You got to have money. You have to have opportunity. All right. You have to have the gifts and callings to go with it, because you want to endure. You don't want to fall away. All right. So the key to not falling away in the middle of walking and putting your hand to the plow. Jesus said, if you put your hand to the plow and turn around, you're not fit for it. So that's your key. If you know that you start out good, like in the parable of the sower, and you get all excited, but after the pressures of life come, and then you fade away because you didn't realize what it would take to sustain the momentum you just gained. Okay? And so this will help you sustain your momentum. This will help you walk this through. Let's look at it a little bit again in John chapter 6, verse 28. And when they said unto him, what shall we do that we might work the works of God? Jesus answered and said unto them, this is the work of God, that you believe on him whom he has sent. You got to believe on him whom he has sent. He said, and they said unto him, what sign do you show us then, that we may see and believe you? What doeth you work? In other words, what are you doing? In verse 31, he says, our fathers did eat manna in the desert, as it is written, he gave them bread from heaven to eat. Now they're quoting the word of Jesus. And they were talking about how Moses was the man, and he led millions of people, and he made sure they had something to eat and something to drink. And he gave them direction to go to this other place. And so Jesus said, truly, truly, I say unto you, Moses gave you not the bread from heaven, but my Father giveth you true bread from heaven. For the bread of God is he which cometh down from heaven and gives life to the world. Notice Jesus coming to give life to the world. Life to what? The world. We remember what that is. It's the same word, cosmos. It's the word where it's the governing influence of man on the earth. God is trying to bring life into the world. He's not trying to condemn it. He's not trying to get rid of the world. He's trying to take over. And he wants to do it by putting the Christ in you, the kingship authority in you, so that you can walk as kings, sons, ambassadors, citizens, and not as just, church members, because they don't get hurt. Church members go to church. That's it. They don't get hurt. They don't even want to unite church and state, because church is state. Don't get me started over there. Amen. Let's look over here at, Philippians 3:19. It says, whose end is destruction, whose God is their belly, and whose glory is their shame, who mind earthly things. All they want is stuff. So we want to make sure that that's not all we want. We want to make sure that we're not just disputing and corrupting minds to get stuff. We want to make sure that we're taking faith with a purpose, because it's not the fact that gain can cause godliness, because that's not it. Just because you have a lot of stuff, that's not godliness. You want to take God's message to the world, and as you do, people will finance it. As you do, people will help you. My name is Paul Williams. I'm out of time, and I thank you for yours.
Thank you for giving us 5 minutes of your time in exchange for 5 minutes of kingdom wisdom. We're joyful that your path brought you to this perfect moment of opportunity. It's certainly a worthwhile investment for you and your family. Jesus instructed us to preach the kingdom of God and heal the sick, and we hope the light of that is coming on. Please come back tomorrow for more Kingdom of God teaching from Paul Gamaliel Williams. For even more, visit kingdomtimeministries.org. We love you, and Jesus Christ is King.